Good morning, HoustonFloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning my guest is Greg Wilson, the founder and president of Hempwood. Greg, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So I've caught you in your operation in western Kentucky. You're rolling out a new flooring that's made out of cannabis. It's a plant, basically. Your brand name is Hempwood, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So our company's name is Fibonacci, because we use the Fibonacci sequence in the manufacturing algorithm for these various products that I've worked on for the last 18 years. But this product line is called Hempwood, and we use hemp stalks that grow in 4 months that have a replacement for an 80-year-old oak tree.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's run through this real quick. It's going to take a little explanation. The product is actually grown in Kentucky. Your factory is in Kentucky, and the flooring you're making is a 5-inch wide, almost takes a profile of an engineered hardwood product because the hempwood's on the top and there's plywood on the bottom and there's kind of a tongue and groove, right?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we went with that format because hempwood is so hard. It's got a Janka rating over 2,000.
Yeah.
It's hard to nail down through the hempwood.
Yeah.
And everybody in the wood flooring industry knows that you can get yourself into trouble if you're going to put a solid wood over concrete.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to be able to nail it down, we went with the engineered platform. And if you wanted to be able to sell it into areas that have a concrete subfloor, you would want to make sure that you went with the engineered so you didn't have any buckling or cupping or things like that.
Yeah. All right. You're 100% American-made. It's grown in Kentucky. It's produced in Kentucky. The plywood is even sourced out of West Virginia, right?
Yes, sir. We work with Columbia Forestry Products. They've been really good to us.
Yeah.
They've helped us out with our adhesive solutions because we use something similar to them with a bio-based adhesive. All of our hemp comes from within 100 miles of the plant here, and we are proud to say that we employ 23 Kentuckians at our 2 manufacturing facilities here in Murray, Kentucky.
Okay. Interestingly enough, it's carbon negative because you use some of your waste to create energy for drying this product out, right?
Yes, sir. The fall off in the process, we take that, we grind it up, and we burn it in our bio burner to heat up a glycol solution that travels around the plant, and it goes to the different heating requirements. So it first goes to our oven, which we have to bake it at 265 degrees. And then it goes to a holding tank, which feeds our dryers, which run at 120 degrees. And then it circles back to the bio burner to get heated again and put back into that process.
All right. So you make the, I guess you could call it a lumber or the wear surface. And to do that, you use these plant stalks and you add a soy-based adhesive to make it stick together, right?
That is correct. So Cargill is very instrumental in working with us for developing the no added formaldehyde adhesive, as well as Columbia Forestry Products, who's been doing it for 10 or 15 years, making the Pure Bond plywood. Mm-hmm. So we worked with those guys in the laboratory for the last 5 or 6 years, figuring out the adhesive to use. We break open the cell structure of the hemp plant, which comes in bales to the tune of about a ton an hour can go through here. Mm-hmm. We break open that cell structure, mainly the hurd, which is the woody core and is very absorbent. And once we break that open, but it's still attached to the hemp fiber, which gives it the strength, because everybody knows hemp is strong as heck. That's what they make rope out of. Mm-hmm. We break open that hurd core. We impregnate it with that soy-based adhesive, stealing the proteins from the soy flour, and then have a cross-linking agent that will react with that once we heat it up.
You were telling me that as far as yield, an acre of hemp yields about the same amount of flooring as 4 acres of timber. Is that right?
That is correct. That's the general number that people use. I can say that obviously your yield per acre of hemp can vary anywhere from 3 tons to 5 tons is about the normal, as well as your yield for timber. Like, I want to make it clear that we support forestry. We are a strong supporter of the outdoors. We're not against any sort of lumber use, but we like to go with the sustainable harvest rather than the clear cut. We do use forest products as the core, the base, the plywood of our Hempwood flooring.
All right, so let's go through this real quick. You've come up with a novel product. It's got a sustainability story, and I can tell you through research we've done that the consumer, the sustainable story, as long as it doesn't cost more, they like the story, okay? But you've also got a Made in the USA story. Hey, they like that story. You've got a performance story because it's 20% harder than hickory. But the reason that the consumer buys flooring today is because of what it looks like. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Appearance is what sells the product.
Yeah.
The story is what gets them in the door.
Right.
Just like you have in a regular log, like a white oak, which is what we take as our direct competitor, we can do a plain sawn, which is sawn the same way you would saw a log, horizontal to the ground.
Yeah.
Or we can do a rift sawn, you can call it rift sawn or quarter sawn, which gives you a linear grain visual. The plain sawn has its own unique look. A lot of people compare it to burl, or they compare it to olive wood, something like that. You can distinctly tell that it is hempwood. And if you go on Instagram or any of these online platforms and just look up hempwood, then you can see what the different artists and craftsmen are doing out of it, from wood turning to cabinet making to furniture to flooring. Then you have the rift sawn, which has a wood grain visual. And so your hardcore wood guys, your carpenters, your wood flooring layers, where we launched our flooring line at the NWFA trade show in Orlando this year, the second week of July. That rift sawn is what's most popular for our flooring, but the plain sawn is what the architects and designers are really digging.
Okay.
Because we're doing some projects like BMW showrooms for their new eco-friendly footprints. Or we have cannabis shops that are small retail shops that are building out with it.
Do you own the Hempwood name?
Yes, sir. So I have a trademark on the word hempwood for building materials, lumber, and flooring.
Okay.
We have a trademark on the logo that we use that you can see that has a tree actually growing through the O in hempwood.
Yep.
When we got started in the pilot program with this, hemp was not nationally legal. And so you couldn't trade, or it would at least get stopped and questioned if you were sending hempwood across state lines.
Right.
Or if you were banking under a company named Hempwood. So we are DBA, or doing business as Hempwood, where we do have trademarks on the word, but we go under the company banner of Fibonacci.
All right, real quick question. Most people that are in the retail business buy their products direct from a manufacturer or from a distributor. What is your route to market?
We have a dealer program, which goes to our retail shops, which goes to our flooring dealers. We have a direct-to-customer, which is an omni-channel that we set up, and we do have comparable pricing across the line. And then we do have our architect and design projects that we go to as well.
All right. You sell direct to the retailer, or you sell direct to the consumer?
That is correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, Greg, thanks for telling us about Hempwood, and good luck in launching this product. Again, been talking to Greg Wilson, the founder and president of Hempwood, company name Fibonacci, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorValley.net.